What's guys, I'm this. Welcome back to Shiitake News. I'm glad to have you. Welcome back on this, what day is that? I think Monday or Tuesday morning, 3 a.m. here in Japan. We have some interesting news to go over. I've been playing pretty cool because there's a lot of panic about the virus and this and that here and there. And I'd like to wish everyone the best. Please buy whatever supplies you may need. I'll have a more detailed story later on. There's a lot that's happened lately, but we're going to go over a lot of the things that are being mentioned. I'm not going to go over with you because I hope you're hearing it from multiple sources. Today we're going to go over some basic things that might have gone under your radar. Now, this was on the NRA National Alert, and what's going on is Illinois mayor is signed executive order giving her the power to ban gun sales. But that's not it. Of course, gun sales is going to get banned because they're going to, don't let a good crisis go to waste. So they're banning gun sales, gasoline, and ammo, and a few other things. But the point is that some people are going to overreach during these crises. They're going to go ahead and take whatever they can. They're not going to let a crisis go to waste. They see this as a good chance to give yourself executive power. And the bad thing about political or laws or these temporary measures is that once they implement them as a temporary measure, they're going to figure, why not just keep it as it is? Why not leave it as a permanent? And a lot of people may think, yeah, that's fine. We've been looking for an excuse to ban guns. This is them taking away one of your rights. This country was built on this one. The first one wasn't obeyed, so the second one came into play. It's the reason it's that important. This one guards the others, basically. And it's a big deal. This is the government overreaching. Their job is to protect you and your rights. Fighting coronavirus does not, neglect. It doesn't mean you can just ignore the other rights. Like, well, I'm fighting coronavirus, so you can now be put back into slavery. Of course not. This is just one small step in that direction. It's how you should think about it. They're getting near to shutting down the U.S., and what that looks like is stay home, stores, everybody that isn't an emergency employee is going to stay home. And they actually implemented it in one place, I believe. In New Jersey. They implemented that you cannot go out to drink. You cannot go out. All the bars are closed. If you do have a bar, you cannot serve food anymore, which doesn't matter because the bar is closed anyways. But the government can do these things, but that's not, getting into one of your rights. That's not getting into one of your constitutional rights. But them banning guns is, and them they put it gun ban in big text, so everyone on the left is like, yeah, that's great. Plus gasoline. Oh, I didn't read that part. That's how they get you. They always have these great causes, this great, wonderful image. They're like, this is the coronavirus, bill that they're passing, but let's throw in some money there in case you want to get an abortion. They're always trying to trick you with these simple titles, and they're adding their little twists here and there to take from you. All they do is take. Whatever they're implementing, you paid for it in some way, manner, or form. Whatever they're doing is something that's already yours. Whatever they take, it's something that's already yours. They keep trying to take more and more. And in emergency, I can understand. Sure, let that happen. But it has to have a limit. Everything should have a time limit when they borrow something from you. They're not allowed to take, but if they borrow anything like your freedom and asking you to stay at home for a few weeks, that's something they borrow for a very short amount of time. It has to be very specific from the beginning. It has to say, well, this will expire on this day. Then they can borrow something. You wouldn't let somebody borrow your car unless you knew when you were going to get it back. You might need it. It's yours. Why shouldn't you know where your car is? They don't see it that way. They see that they're giving you these things. No, these are yours to begin with. Don't let the government overreach their power. That's it. Hoboken. Interesting name. That's the city that's actually under curfew right now. If you want to see the stories, there's links to all three of them here. But this top one wasn't on any of my radars. It didn't come out in any of the typical outlets I read, or any of the news, or any of the articles. None of the big newspaper companies really published it. This was the People's Ledger, I believe. Take a look, read it over, tell me what you think. I know if you're outside of the U.S., these rights seem weird to you. Why do you guys fight for this? Why do you need this? Why must you have this? But it's how we came to be who we are. It's who we are. It's part of what we are. And we shouldn't allow anybody or any tragedy to take anything from us more than it has to. But that being said, politicians are corrupt. You have to keep them on a short leash. And here's another reason why. This is the second story. Back in I want to say 2018, the election for Florida Senate, we had this gentleman and another. He came within 1% of winning the Senate. He has a squeaky clean image on the outside. But he finally showed, you wait long enough, you shine the spotlight on them long enough, whether Republican or Democrats, all politicians eventually show you their true colors. And I put it, I bash Democratic because he was propped up by everyone. I seen Oprah trying to, support him. I seen Obama's trying to support him. Well, anyways, who supported him probably didn't know his twisted little habits, but they didn't care to know either. He was found in a hotel because someone called emergency services because his fit gentleman over here was overdosing on meth. It takes a lot of meth to overdose. Well, I don't know how they took it, but he was ODing on meth. And this gentleman over here, plus a third that isn't really highlighted, were in the hotel with him together. He was puking away in the bathroom because he was drunk and probably trying to get whatever he had in his system out, knowing that emergency services are going to come over. And this gentleman is an actual gay escort. And it says it here. And it looks like it was a meth gay orgy. Nothing wrong with being gay. Nothing wrong with orgies. Nothing wrong with, there's something wrong with meth. But this man with his wife and kids, who he's now going to go hide with, was the star and the shining star. He's 40 years old. He's young considering most Democrats. And he was probably going to run again for that Senate seat. But his career is now over. But then again, he's a Democrat, so he could probably come back and, run again in a few years, make donations, give a sad apology. He's going to go to reclusion, which means he's just going to stay out of the press. I don't like these things happening where scum are being elevated to these higher, elite positions. Is there no one else? Is this really the best we can offer? I'm not talking about Democrat or Republican, but as someone, one out of the two senators in the whole state, is this the best Florida has to offer? A hidden gay meth addict who ODs his escorts. And I just think about, why can't we do better? Why is the bar set so low? Why is filth like this allowed to even be considered to moving up to the Senate? He would have been passed. He would have voted to impeach Trump. He would have voted to do whatever he wants to, to appease his party and to get his way and to. But he's a scumbag. He's garbage. He's literal garbage. I'm not judging as it's a wonderful human being, but there's teachers, there's individuals out there, there's doctors, there's nurses, there's trash collectors that are better human beings than this. Nothing is wrong with what position you do. It's just, why is this pile of garbage? Why was he even a choice? Do you think since he's lost the election, he just started, hanging out with hookers and meth? No, odds are this man has a habit, a history. And if he's gay, that's fine. But no, he puts his wife and his kids in front of him like a human shield, saying, oh, I have to protect them, so I'm going to stay away from the media to keep them safe and sheltered from all the attacks he's going to get. He's filth. Go ahead, feel free to read both stories. At first, it was just, he gave an apology. His apology was garbage, not worth listening to. If you'd like to, you can easily Google and it'll come up with a bunch of results. But this individual is just a trash human being. Filth. Be careful who you put up there. I'm sure he had enough favors, owed to him or in the books for him to move up to the position of possibly being a senator. And I'm not saying the Republican senator is any better. I'm just saying we should be more careful in electing these guys. I mean, that guy, that lady, that guy, anybody in this picture would be a better candidate than these two. At least this guy is proud of his profession and he's pretty upfront over the things he likes. This guy just hides it better. To me, these two are one and the same. Disgusting. Well, I don't think he's disgusting. He's just a meth addict. He has issues. But this guy is absolute garbage. I hope he gets tested. I hope they find out everything. I hope every little detail about him is I hope the spotlight stays on him for 100 years. That's all I can hope for. Not really wishing him the worst, but I wish everything he's done is brought to light. And I hope the next wave of candidates are better human beings than this. We can do better. This gentleman could have signed laws, could have taken away your rights, could have raised your taxes, could have done a lot to you. And he's this caliber of a human being. Come on, gentlemen, ladies, we can do much better than this. There's over 300 million people in the States. There's a couple million in just Florida alone. And this is the best. This is your elite. This is the results of all your work, of all your education, of all your support. This is Florida's elite, Florida's best. Had he won Senate, he would have been eligible to be a president. This is who you bring to this is your dog in the race. I feel kind of disgusted just looking at him. I'll leave it at that. Just think, the government is not there to be to control you. You control them, and who we put up there should be a man of better caliber or a woman of better caliber, or whatever they identify of better caliber than this. This is filth. That's it for me today. Thank you very much. Look forward to seeing you next time, and let's get some of this.